Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. Welcome to the 7-Minute Workshop. I'm Ramon Ray, NetSuite's entrepreneur in residence, filling in for the absolutely amazing Fritz Nelson. And once again, we are so excited to have you with us here today. So now, in case you've never turned in before, the 7-Minute Workshop is an ongoing series during which we chat with experts to break down complicated or timely topics that affect your business in just 7 minutes. That's why it's called the 7-Minute Workshop. Today, I'll sit down with business and networking expert Matt Ward and discuss the power of referrals for your business. I know this is going to be a great discussion. And of course, we'll also talk about how to consistently get referrals as well as what to avoid. Before I bring Matt on, I wanted to remind all of you to please leave your questions in the comments. I'm so excited to get them, and we'll get to them at the end of our amazing conversation. Now, if you don't have any questions, please drop a hello. Tell us where you're tuning in from. Say hi, say something. We'd love to give you a shout out right back. So now please join me in welcoming the absolutely amazing Matt Ward. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Ramon. Thanks for having me on. I greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome. So glad to be here with you. I've been with you many, many times, and indeed you are the referral master of networking and more. So let's get right to it, Matt. And again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for those who are tuning in, and we hope to see those shout outs coming in, people telling us where you're from. And don't forget, if you have questions as we're talking, we want to get that too. So Matt, listen, first thing, let's just understand right at the beginning, what is a referral for a business? I mean, people could think it's sales, could think it's marketing, could think it's all kinds of things. Matt Ward, tell us, what is a referral?
Well, I believe, Ramon, that a referral is somebody who is ready, willing, and able to buy. Otherwise, it's just a lead. So when you're building and you're doing business in a way that produces referrals, you're nurturing relationships to the point where people are sending you people who are ready, willing, and able to buy.
Got it. Wow. So all three have to be done. It's kind of like a three-way something or other. All three have to be there.
It's the trifecta, Ramon, the trifecta.
That's the word I'm looking for. So let's talk about why referrals are important. I know that for many smaller companies, they live and breathe and die on referrals. Why are they so important to the lifeblood of so many growing businesses, Matt?
Well, it comes down to this. So many people say that the majority of their new business comes from referrals, but so few can actually prove it. The bottom line is we know that referrals convert into a client at a higher rate. So if we can nurture relationships in a way that produces referrals, it makes the business stronger, more stable, more consistent. And that's what we need when it comes to revenue and customer base in a small business. We just constantly need that stability.
And I love it. And one thing I just want to, can you touch on briefly, why is it important to credit that referral? Why is it important, I guess what I'm trying to say, to prove it? I noticed you said people can't prove it. Touch on that briefly.
Well, they can prove it. The problem is they don't. They don't track it, right? So all the time when I'm speaking all over this great country and I ask a question of 100 people in an audience, how many of you will say that the number one source of new business is referrals? And about 100% of the people in the room will raise their hand. And then I say, well, now tell me, do you spend all your marketing dollars toward that? And then they don't. And then I say, well, where are they coming from? And they don't know. They think it's coming from their customer, but more often than not, it's not. It's coming from a line sphere, a referral partner, somebody who is in a position to refer. And it's generally not the customers. You know, the customers refer 1 to 3 people over a lifetime, depending on the industry. But the referral sources and partners refer 1 to 3 people a year. So they do need to track it because then they know who to build relationships with.
I love it. So let's touch on something that's a very sensitive topic, Matt. Let's see if Matt Ward can handle it. What's the wrong way to get a referral? Most of us, I'm sure you can give us tips of how to do it, but give us those pet peeves, Matt. You're like, Ramon, these are things to not do.
Ramon, if I will go to my grave saying people should never ask for a referral, ever. It makes you look desperate. You know, I have a conversation with Ramon. Hey, Ramon, do you know somebody that needs my service? I helped you out, Ramon. I helped you out. Can you help me out? It sounds so desperate. Now, there's a clear difference between asking for an introduction and asking for a referral, right? The referral is the business you're asking for. An introduction might be to a referral partner. That's completely okay. But when you ask for the referral, Two problems come from that. The first of which is you get dead silence because people, they don't really know. They're put on the spot. It's awkward, and they don't want to give you access to their contacts because as humans, we love to buy, but we hate to be sold to. And the second response, Ramon, is they say, yeah, Ramon, I'll get you a name. I'll get you a name. And then you never hear back from them.
Wow.
It's that bad. So
wow.
Just don't ask. Instead, build rapport, and people will refer you.
Absolutely. So after this, Matt, I'm not going to ask you for a referral for me doing this. Listen, so now we've talked about a few things to not do, and I like that. It makes you look desperate. I'll add, makes you look cheap. What about the aspect, Matt, of the right way to ask for referrals? Or I shouldn't say the way to ask for it, because you said not to do it. But what's the right way to go about getting referrals? What are some things we should know about that?
It's the number one thing is relationship. Look, if you can come to the relationship and care about other people, if you give without the expectation of getting anything in return, you're going to get referrals. Most people have heard the line that people do business with who they know, like, and trust. But as I wrote in my book, Ramon, people, I think it's a little bit more than that. People do business with who they know, like, trust, and care about, right? To the point where if you care about them, they'll care about you. That's the reciprocity effect. And so if you invest in others, if you care, if you're authentic, if you build rapport, and you do it for the right reasons, but not for the business, you'll get more referrals. You see, if you build it because you want something in return, Ramon, they'll see that and you won't get it. It will backfire. They'll read right through you.
I love this. I know we're going to have thousands of questions coming in, Matt. And before we close out here, by the way, give us quickly, what's the name of the book? And then my question is going to be to you. Let's touch a bit before we get to the questions about referral programs. But what's the name of your book, Matt?
My book is called More, Word of Mouth Referrals, Lifelong Customers, and Raving Fans. And they can find it on Amazon.
Love it. So talk to us about this aspect of referral programs. NetSuite works with a lot of smaller companies, startups, and et cetera that are growing, and they want to build programs, a referral system. What are some high-level points that we should understand, Matt, to do that?
So first of all, you want to look for people that are serving the same economic buyer that you are, right?
Okay.
So if you're selling copier supplies, and then you might want to talk to the people that are cleaning the office, the commercial cleaning company. You're often talking to the same person. You want to surround yourself with that sphere of influence, right? Those people in business who are talking to the same economic buyer. The second thing is, I know a lot of companies want to reward in their partner program, their referral partner program, reward with cash. But know that there are many industries that don't allow that. And there are many people that are not motivated by money. In fact, they'll give up the money in exchange for a referral back, right? They just say, oh, I'd like the referral back. Building a referral partner program, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. It may not be for your company, but if it is, know and understand who you're targeting and what they want from that. And then spend the time to educate them and build true relationships first before you roll out the program.
It's funny you said that, Matt. When I think of my son and my daughter, two different humans. My daughter, not motivated by, my son motivated by money. Son, I'll give you $1, and my daughter's not. So two different things. Very interesting. Matt, this is amazing, amazing, amazing. And thanks for being with us today. A few questions we have for the audience as we jump into this. I know it's going to be absolutely amazing. And we love serving our audience here at the 7-Minute Workshop. So I think one, and by the way, let me just set the stage here. I'd like to open up for questions from the audience. So those who are listening in, if you haven't got your question in, please get your question in. And if you haven't yet had a time to shout us out, do that and say hello. We see you and we appreciate that you're here. So question number one, is there a difference in referrals via email, via LinkedIn, in person? How does that work? We're in a place, even Clubhouse now, Matt, right? There's all these platforms where people are asking for and getting referrals. How do we navigate this, Matt?
Look, the right way to give a referral is to make sure you do the multi-introduction. You can do it via email. If I have a referral for you, Ramon, I'm going to send you an email.
Okay.
I'm going to copy the person who is the referral.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure all people are involved, and I'm going to set the expectations inside that email. Who's going to call who and when, and what I talked about. The way not to do it is the Facebook tag, right? You're on Facebook. Someone says, I need a plumber, and you tag a name. That is not going to work, and that person's highly unlikely going to get the business. It just doesn't work that way. It's not solid enough. So when you send a referral and when you train people to send you referrals, make sure you're educating them that all that information needs to go in the email that holds other people accountable, right? Then you have the right to call them because they agreed to be called. Right. That's the big piece of the referral, Ramon.
And I must say a pet peeve about referrals, Matt. Oftentimes people say, hey, Ramon, you read books. Matt reads books. You guys should connect. I'm like, what? Am I right, Matt? That's just kind of
yeah. That's not a referral. That's a lead at best, right? Ramon is not ready, willing, and able to buy just because he reads books. I see that all the time. And you have to, when you're educating your sources of referrals, you want to educate them on what to listen for and then what to ask. So I would say something like, okay, John Doe, I'm hearing you say this. Would it be okay if Ramon calls you? Great. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send an email connecting all of you, and he'll give you a call. And then in the email, I'm going to say, Ramon, John Doe's expecting your call.
I love it. I love it. So what about the very young startups that are in the early stages of building their company? We have some great questions coming in. Keep the questions coming in. We're here for you. So we have a bit more time to squeeze your question in. But Matt, we have someone asking, I'm in the early stages of building my business, building my company. Is there a good time or a way to start building a base of referrals? Because Matt, they're brand new. So they haven't been in business long like you and I have. What do you say to that very new startup?
Well, first of all, if we go off the know, like, trust, and care about factor, right, you want to start with the personal relationships and let people know what you're doing. But to jumpstart a referral process, a referral system, and to get referrals in the business, there's an old strategy that you can use that works very, very effectively, and that is the handwritten card. Just write as many as you possibly can in a given week, not to potential customers, but to just anybody, any contact that you have. Write a personal note in there about how they impacted you, what they bring to the world, be thankful for what they offer. And that goes a long way. And then do that every month. It's okay to send Ramon Ray a card 3 months in a row, right? If you send the same 20 people a card 3 months in a row, I can guarantee you, Ramon, you're going to get a referral. I can't guarantee you'll close it, and I can't guarantee how much it is, but I can guarantee someone's going to call you and ask for your services.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. I want to give a shout out. I'm not going to say who it was per se, but just to show you, I have a card here from somebody, said, Ramon, thank you for something. And I'm sure you kind of have to prioritize this a bit. I would think you can't maybe, or you could, but sending a card to everybody in the world. But you're right. When I get cards, I pause and do a double take. Matt?
And you save them.
Yes, indeed.
People save them.
Another questions coming in here, Matt. And again, keep the questions coming. This is so good. Clearly, Matt, people are on fire about referrals and how they can get referrals for their business. We've helped the person who's just creating their startup. How do we start there? And I like how you said, know, like, and trust. Give you a bit of space here, Matt, to unpack and help us again about the referral program. I'm a larger business. Maybe I have 100 employees. Maybe I have 50 employees. Maybe I'm 10 million, 20 million in revenue. What is your idea where I can get this system going? My entire sales team, even the receptionist, to start generating referrals on a consistent basis. What do you advise companies to do?
So it's really simple. It's a 4-part process that I wrote about in the book, and it's very, very simple, and I'll outline it very quickly for you. The 4 pillars are: 1, over delivery. That's exceeding client expectations. That is not under promise and over deliver, Ramon. That's over deliver. Number 2 is listening. Listening with your ears, but also with your eyes. What do you see about people? What are they sharing on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and those places? Number 3 is surprise. And I define that as an unexpected gift at an unexpected time. The gift needs to be about them, not about you. It's what they like, not what you like. And number 4 is non-self-serving acts, the things you do for others that have no bearing or benefit on you. If you take those 4 things and weave them all together throughout your business, consistently throughout all your employees, including your front office staff, your back office staff, your sales team, your business development team, your people on the road, your technicians, whoever it might be, you will start to benefit from massive amounts of referrals coming in, because people will know that you care about them in a way that the competition isn't. And it keeps you top of mind if you're doing it.
Yeah, and I think, Matt, is interesting because this is why some of the most famous companies on earth, many that we have heard about, are legendary in their fields. They're known. We give employees money to do this. The famous story of the concierge who gave somebody their shoes, or things like that, Matt. So I think this is great. But Matt Ward, listen, this has been absolutely an amazing, amazing time together. Matt Ward, so appreciate you be here. I hope people look you up, get your book, go to your website, and check out all the resources you have on referrals and more. And really special thanks to our NetSuite audience who tunes in week after week after week and listen to this and other programming that we have. And I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I'll be back to host one more time on Thursday, July 8th, and we will see you then.